Definitive Technology's Studio 3D Mini Soundbar and Subwoofer packs DTS:X and Dolby audio into a small form factor. I could not believe the audio that came out of something just over 2 feet long and just under 2 inches tall. Thanks for watching 9 to 5 Toys. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to enable notifications so you don't miss any upcoming videos. A setup like this dares you to ask the question if an unobtrusive device can give you full home theater quality sound without the use of 5 speakers positioned around the room. The answer is a resounding yes. If you're not familiar, Dolby Atmos audio has been around since the Pixar movie Brave in 2012. Now it's in your AirPods, TVs, Chromecasts, and soundbar and subwoofer setups. The best way I can describe it is by taking surround sound a step beyond just surrounding you. It feels like the sound moves through space more so than just having audio on all sides. This even includes above and behind you. While AirPods use dynamic head tracking in conjunction with 3D audio, the Studio 3D Mini transforms your room into a virtual audio space. One of the most unique aspects is the angled sides, so instead of sound only coming at you from the front, it's being bounced around the room and fills the space. It's the closest you can get to a theater without having speakers mounted on your walls. While other premium home theater setups will run you upwards of $1,000 and not even include a subwoofer, the Studio 3D Mini is usually less than $900. With this, you get full Bluetooth streaming, AirPlay 2, USB, digital audio output, aux, and of course HDMI. It also has an Ethernet port, which doesn't really come standard on soundbars, but it can come in handy. If you want to stream music over the internet, you'll have to download the HEOS app, which I initially had a lot of issues with. Once everything is connected, it enables multi-room streaming so your entire house can play sound from one source, if you have multiple speakers that are compatible. You also have full controls for music and different sound profiles depending on what you're using them for. Unfortunately, the setup took me about an hour and a half of troubleshooting. Thankfully, the subwoofer synced almost instantly, but I was stuck in a loop of trying to get the Studio 3D Mini connected through the internet using the HEOS app. I try to stay away from apps like this unless I really need it, and in this case, it is necessary. So, every time I would turn it on, I would get flashing amber lights. When you go into the app to start getting it on your network, it asks what color the LEDs were on the front of the soundbar. I don't know why, but flashing amber just wasn't an option. It wasn't even in the manual or any online manuals I could find. Even when I got out of that stage of setup, which I'm still not entirely sure what it was trying to do, I was stuck in another loop of flashing blue lights. Apparently this indicated that it was booting up, but persisted for 20 plus minutes. When I finally got the option to connect to Wi-Fi, it gave me 3 options: wireless, wired Ethernet, and Wi-Fi protected setup, or WPS. The wireless option allows you to get it on the internet through Bluetooth, which didn't initially work for me. And as you press the connect button on the back, which should turn the LED solid amber, that was not the case. So I reluctantly tried to use the Ethernet option. Thankfully, my cable was just long enough to keep the soundbar plugged in, but this method also did not work for me. After waiting for a 30+ minute update and a couple more power cycles of the soundbar, my TV, and Google TV, it started working. Now, I don't want to say that you'll have issues like this, but that's how it went for me, and I saw a couple other people online expressing the same ideas about the app. When you finally get everything plugged in and enable HDMI, CEC on your TV, you're ready to start experiencing the soundbar and subwoofer to their fullest potential. Now I know this won't do it justice, but here's a quick sound comparison between my TV speakers and the Studio 3D Mini.
You know, that's about $1 million worth of damage back there, by the way. You really don't feel like there's another hand on the wheel at all. Bruh, you know, that's about $1 million worth of damage back there, by the way. You really don't feel like there's another hand on the wheel at all.
If you're curious, I have a Google TV hooked up to a Philips Hue sync box that then plugs into any HDMI slot, so I have the soundbar in the HDMI eARC spot. This is so that I can control everything through my Google TV remote. This may be slightly different on your OS, but if you head into the settings on your Google TV, you can register the name and model of your device, and your Google TV remote will cycle through different IR patterns until it matches your soundbar remote. And it's really nice because then you can change inputs, volume, and power all with one remote. Personally, I like to have the power button turn on the TV, Google TV, and the soundbar, so I choose auto. If that's not possible on your TV and you're not a fan of multiple remotes, the HEOS app does offer a wider range of controls than other audio devices. You can change inputs, enable dialogue booster or night mode, and pick different sound modes like DTS:X or Dolby Audio. It stores different profiles and has a volume slider too. The music streaming aspect is a little different. It lists the streaming services in the app, and it takes you to that app to start playing. Then you can either use that app or the HEOS app for controls. I definitely prefer this to Bluetooth, and the ease of use makes it my new favorite speaker for music. When I was unboxing this, I noticed the glue on the soft cloth part was a little loose, but otherwise the build quality is solid. And while the soundbar should fit under any TV, the subwoofer is the widest one I've owned and fits very snug in my entertainment center. As someone that spends a lot of time watching movies, I prioritize a great audio experience just as much as I do video. If you're just a casual watcher, sound design probably doesn't mean a whole lot to you, but it will after you try out this soundbar. While the option of more speakers is always there, it really is not necessary. With the power of a design focused on cinema quality audio and Dolby Audio, these two speakers do the work of 3 or 4. Definitive Technologies Studio 3D Mini is a welcome addition to any home theater enthusiast's living room that doesn't feel the need to go all in on the most expensive options. I will say that you can get a decent TV for this price, but if you're all set in that department, this is great for rounding out your system. This is Dom with 9 to 5 Toys.